Hi everyone, I'm Yoni Assia. I'm the CEO and founder of eToro, and I'm actually super excited being here today as we're launching eToroX, our crypto asset exchange, and starting really a new step in the journey of eToro that was founded in 2007. We've been revolutionizing the world of trading and investing for a while now. It started with a couple of patents and myself, my brother in a garage, sort of hacking the user experience around trading. We then became the first platform which was only on the web to enable people to trade online. And then we realized that people actually need to learn from somebody else, and we created the first social trading network where people can actually automatically show what they're seeing, and everyone can see and follow other people and see their track record and talk to them on our social network. We then expanded it to the sharing economy in the world of portfolio management, so you can actually automatically copy the top traders on eToro who are trading a variety of assets. And that's when the crypto bug sort of hit me a bit before in 2010, 2011. And since we were already a successful, growing fintech firm, we had a lot of sort of knowledge of how existing traditional markets work. And when we looked at Bitcoin and blockchain technology, we started working on a protocol called back then Colored Coins Protocol. And actually I co-wrote with Vitalik Buterin the white paper of colored coins, which was around tokenization of assets. So when we looked at Bitcoin, we were excited about the fact that you could potentially use that blockchain to actually tokenize existing financial assets that we have on eToro, whether it's currencies, commodities, or stocks, on a blockchain, and actually suddenly have real-time clearing and settlement across the globe with our partners. We've then added Bitcoin as one of the first regulated financial institutions in the world to actually enable in 2014 crypto trading. And later on, when we launched copy portfolios, which is our thematic investment products, we also enabled users to invest in a basket of crypto assets on eToro with a click of a button, and became one of the fastest growing, basically, crypto trading firms in Europe and in Asia. And the reason we continue to revolutionize, we continue to disrupt, is really a deep passion to the fact that there's a very big change coming, and that our generation, Generation Y or Xillennials, basically expect something very different from our financial institutions, both from a user experience, but also from a technology point of view of how things actually work. And that passion is to open the global markets for everyone to trade and invest in a simple and transparent way, and that has been our vision from really the beginning of eToro. And it is around democratizing wealth management and the world of trading, which eventually opens the financial systems and enables also more access to capital and more access to the financial systems. Today, eToro has more than 10 million registered users from more than 140 countries. We have about 700 employees worldwide across the globe. And last year, we did around $1 trillion in volume. And I think that's relevant because we're basically transitioning from sort of traditional finance, went into crypto, to now launching eToroX, which is a crypto asset exchange. And on top of it, actually, also issuing our own set of 8 different stable coins to enable people to trade crypto assets alongside our own tokenized assets. And that's what's coming next. So our vision for the next coming years is we're starting a process to basically tokenize the world. And it opens a whole new possibilities for tokenized assets, for native digital assets, to be able to do a lot of things that we haven't done before. And that's all, of course, inspired by a whole new set of technologies around blockchains and smart contracts. And what's so interesting is that everywhere we go to the different blockchain weeks around the world, we're seeing like-minded people, entrepreneurs, founders, CTOs, that basically all envision a very similar future. So blockchain has been able to inspire a lot of people to really rethink about reality, about financial reality. This also expands to more than just financial reality. Who prints money? How do capital markets work? How is capital formed? How exchanges work? All of these basically are suddenly losing their status quo because probably the smartest group in the world of people are now looking at all of those issues and questioning them whether this is how it should actually work. And we call them the blockchain generation. And what connects between all these people is actually these standard blockchains, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or EOS or others. Suddenly people can actually build different apps that actually move value between those apps without even communicating with each other, without actually trusting each other. And that's extremely revolutionary to financial services, where traditionally you would work only with people you trust, you have 150 pages ISDA agreements with, and understand their credit risk. And that changes the entire mechanics of how to run basically those new type of financial institutions or blockchain companies. We believe that over the next 10 years, we're going to see a shift of basically assets, the largest wealth transformation in human history, into the blockchain. As a computer scientist, when I look today at tokenized assets, any type of assets, and the ability to move them in real time, the ability to add an asset suddenly into a wallet that never knew that it could add that asset and receive that asset again in real time, is revolutionary. And eventually, all assets will move into native digital form. And the reason is very simple. The reason is the benefits that, again, if you're in financial services, if you already have a blockchain wallet or an Ethereum wallet and started working with blockchain, these benefits are very, very clear. Those are real-time settlement, it's the liquidity, it's the fact that you have financial assets on one exchange, you move them into your wallet, you then send it to another exchange. One is probably in one country, the other one is in another country. Everything is global, everything is tradable 24/7. The transaction costs are minimal, at least when blockchains aren't blocked. And the most important part is we feel for the first time that we actually own our own assets. We actually know that we can move our own assets without the need of a permission from anyone else. We can move it anywhere we want to whomever we want, and we actually own them. And suddenly, when you own your own crypto assets, you suddenly feel that the assets that you have in a bank are not yours anymore. You feel that those are actually something virtual in a bank versus assets that you know you have control over. And that paradigm, that change in understanding is pivotal to this entire process and this entire evolution. But if you look at these two very different industries, the blockchain industry and the financial services industry, we've been lucky in eToro to have a very sort of good insight into both over the last couple of years. And these are very, very different industries. They think about risk differently. They think about technology differently. Traditionally, financial services is still very much governed by accountants and lawyers, where blockchain industry, people like to say that code is law. And these differences are a very big gap between traditional or the old financial world and what we believe will become the new financial world. But as much as excitement in the blockchain space over the past 3 years that really started in 2017, because until then, by the way, most people around the world that you talk to about crypto assets thought that it wasn't that significant and these were imaginary dreams and science fiction. Today, most central banks, regulators, big banks around the world, almost every financial institution understands that blockchain is here to stay and disrupt their business, but it isn't really happening yet. If you think about the entire market cap of crypto assets, it's less than $200 billion. And while people who maybe invested very early on made money, that's still a drop in the ocean compared to the $140 trillion of assets under management. And that's the big gap. The blockchain industry and everything everybody's building on will actually start moving when a transition of those assets will actually start shifting into the blockchain. And that's bridging the gap, and that's what we want to do with eToroX, with our understanding of both traditional financial systems, the fact that we've been regulated for a while in 4 continents now, and our understanding around crypto, is to take the benefits of crypto assets and to apply them to traditional financial assets, to allow a global marketplace where people from all around the world can trade assets from all around the world, to enable peer-to-peer trading. Now, peer-to-peer trading is not only about the fact that one person can maybe move stock to his friend or can gift stocks for a bar mitzvah or pay in a store in gold. It's also about the fact that peers can be companies. Most financial institutions in every single country mostly deal either with very large financial institutions like the bulge brackets or with local financial institutions. It's extremely unique for a financial institution to have counterparts in 40 different countries. And the reason for that is the same reason why in the day-to-day, or a lot of the founders, CEOs, people here in companies, we don't pay people from all around the world. It used to be extremely complex. You need to add local banking accounts, local currency. That peer-to-peer ability enables simply into one specific asset class or marketplace to significantly more counterparts to join. And that eventually means that more people will have more opportunities to invest in wider asset classes, which I'll touch in a second. It also means 24/7 trading. I remember that in 2017, these discussions in eToro, are we moving to 24/7 instead of 24/5? And this was before the crypto boom, but we already realized that a lot of the pure crypto companies are running 24/7. And we said, okay, and we became the only regulated broker in Europe to actually enable people to trade over the weekend crypto, which made a lot of sense. But potentially everything will move to 24/7 crypto because suddenly the same asset trades on a market in Europe, in the US, and in Asia at the same time. And of course, that means that the financial system will basically become freer. It will become open. And it will also reduce costs of setting up new accounts and costs of owning any type of financial asset. Now at eToro today, people can trade stocks, commodities, indices, currencies, cryptocurrencies, ETFs. In most crypto exchanges today, you can only trade crypto assets. In the majority of those, you can only trade actually sort of core Bitcoin, Ethereum tokens and crypto assets. But in the future, what we believe is that this entire ecosystem will enable people to trade a lot of new type of tokenized assets, whether it's equities, commodities, property, such as real estate, owning fractional shares in local real estate in another country, art, which is a great use case, intellectual property. You'll be able to trade and invest in those variety of assets coming from countries from all over the world. And what we're launching now is 8 stablecoins that we've issued on basically the 8 most popular currencies that trade on our exchange alongside all of these assets. So this for us, again, on the eToro platform, we've enabled for a while now to trade crypto assets. We trade the 15 top crypto assets, but we're a brokerage company. We enable people to invest in those crypto assets. The launch of eToroX opens eToro into a more professional audience, into an audience that's familiar in how crypto exchanges work, and enables that audience suddenly in one place to trade assets that don't trade in any other crypto exchange. eToroX is regulated as a distributed ledger technology company. It's highly secure by the security team of eToro, who a lot of them actually come from the cyber defense program of Israel. We're using a lot of the resources existing in eToro, but already have more than 70 employees working just solely on the eToroX exchange. And we will continuously innovate in eToroX to add more features, more tokens, and more assets. And it's launching today, so this is why I'm so excited of being here. So this is an actual launch. So it's launched today. Users of the eToro platform can actually log in from today with their username and password. Every person actually who logs in also gets 20 eToroX, so he can start basically trading an experience with the platform. And we are very much committed to continuously add more and more features, more tokens, more crypto assets, and actually tokenize and add to the platform more tokenized assets. The 8 stable coins that we're launching have been developed through our own tokenization platform, which we also released in open source today. And as you can see here, USDX, PoundX, EuroX, SwissX, KiwiX, AussieX, CanadianX, and JPYX, and it's the only place that you'll be able to actually trade all of these assets. From the moment that we opened actually the platform today, all of the books actually already have liquidity in. And the reason for that is because we're both working with market makers, and since we've been providing liquidity to the crypto markets for a while, we're actually connected to the top 15 exchange in the world. We aggregate that liquidity and put it for consumers on the eToroX platform, which means you get unparalleled level of liquidity across assets that don't exist almost anywhere else. And if they do exist, it's probably on a small exchange with potentially shitty liquidity. We're starting with a short list of crypto assets, but we'll be adding more and more. And as you can see from the pairs, we're starting with 37 pairs, but by the end of the quarter, we'll cross the 100 pairs, because for every pair, we're basically adding all of these new stable coins multiplied by all of these new crypto assets. And coming very soon this year is more crypto coins, more ERC20 tokens, more stable coins who represent other types of assets as well. And of course, another core part that we have a vast experience in, and the big enough balance sheet to support leverage trading on eToroX. This is a big part for us. I'm super excited because it took us a while to sort of shift eToro from traditional finance, from sort of fintech firm, consumer focused, to the hardcore tech part of the blockchain, despite the fact that we've started talk about tokenization in 2012. So obviously that was a bit premature. But we do believe that this is the beginning of the process to really free the financial markets and eventually to create a revolution that enables people the freedom to own their own financial assets, to transfer them, and to trade them anywhere they want. And we'll be very, very proud and happy to invite everyone here and everybody watching in live stream, of course, to join eToroX, give us feedback, and let us build something that we've built as big as eToro with 10 million users, with now eToroX as well. So very happy for all of you to be a part of this revolution, which is a very big revolution, the blockchain generation revolution. And thank you very much.